that. And Devrim, we were talking a little bit about the mistakes that people from the outside make in terms of coming into Silicon Valley, where they feel like, oh, someone's interested in my company, and so I'm going to go all in on this. And can you talk a little bit about how to navigate that?
That's part of Silicon Valley culture too. I will extend it on that. And I've been talking to some entrepreneurs here, and I've been hearing like, but what if I turn this investor off by trying to be picky? Like, what if, like, you know, just a reference check would be fine, but then in Turkey, people are like, the entrepreneurs are in defensive mode. They were like, I should probably do what they ask of me. And I beg everyone, please don't take money from the person who treats you like that. Do not. Because I did that in 2005, and I'm not going to call any names or anything, just to give you my experience and how I ended up in Silicon Valley, is that the investor that I found in Turkey took my company down, and my 5 years that I spent on that project was gone. It's been taken away from me. It's like, we took the investment, and then he was like, I want more than 50% of the company. I'm like, all right, okay, so you're putting in $1.5 million, so probably that's good. It's 2006, I didn't know, I was 26, and we just signed those agreements, and then out of blue, he was like, I'm not in this anymore. If this happens in Silicon Valley, it's never heard of, by the way, like it doesn't happen that an investor says in the middle of the way, I just pull out. It happened to me. Since that $1.5 million was never put in our bank account, that also meant that was his company, which actually was mine. It was my idea. I brought it up to the investment stage. And when he pulled out, I thought he would release the shares and let me go and do a next round. Like that's what would happen in Silicon Valley. He didn't. He said, yes, I would release the shares, I will give the company back and everything. Then I couldn't get a hold of him for 6 months that I had to pay my savings to the 25 people we hired in Ukraine. I started my journey because of that, and thanks to that, with $3,500 in New York alone. So this coding started after that. So I was like, I'm not going to stay in this country. I'm fed up. I can't do this. And that's the advice I want to give to everyone. Like, please check your investor. If it, like, ask who he invested in, and ask me about this offline. I'll tell you. And just make sure that you're not accepting money just because it's money. You are actually hiring that person to your board. Are you sure you can stand him, like when in a board meeting, when he gives you stupid advice? Like if he tells you, why don't you put banner ads to your emails? Like, can you stand that kind of advice? Recruit your investor. And if you can't, don't take his money, because he's going to just make your life miserable. And it actually applies to San Francisco too. There are lots of investors that are not good for you. Even you come to San Francisco, I will give you the same advice. If he doesn't understand your business, if he doesn't have a single clue how you can grow that, and if he cannot provide you a single introduction as to how you grow your business, don't take his money. You don't need it. We didn't take any money. Like when we started coding, since we were burned, my brother and I, we said, let's do something you and I can do. We do not need any single dime from anybody, and this is a business that we can make and we can grow. And 2 years later, Google sent us an email and saying that, hey, this is great, can we use it in our national ad campaign? And then investors came and we want to invest money. And that was great. Now my board member is a developer, also is an investor. So he comes to the board meeting, he's like, hey dude, Java is cool. And I'm like, yes, this is my guy.
That's great.
So that's the advice I'm going to give the first part, and very shortly